What's up, you guys? This is your girl, Queen Talks Crime, and I am back with another video. Shout out to all my subscribers. Um, I thank y'all for being so loyal and very patient. Being that I just had a baby 2 months ago. So I appreciate every last one of y'all for being, very loyal and patient with me. But first and foremost, you guys, I love and I thank y'all. And let's get into the disclaimer of the video. All right, this video is a disclaimer. This video is for educational and teaching purposes only. Okay. This video is for criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, research. Fair use is permitted. Okay. By copyright statute that might otherwise be infringing nonprofit, educational, or personal use. Tips the balance in favor or of fair use. The video is made for entertainment purposes and is transformative in nature. All right, the beautiful Cal City Boys, you guys. What we're gonna do is we're gonna talk about a little timeline, a timeline of events. Okay, we're gonna start from this year, 2022, and we're gonna work our way back. All right, so y'all hang with your girl. So, Classic and Sincere, Orrin and Orson West were two beautiful little boys who was born in Bakersfield. Okay, Bakersfield. And their lives, they had very hard lives, and it ended very tragically. And they needed and deserved love. And they didn't get that. They didn't receive the love that they needed and that they deserved. The brothers have been missing now for over a year. No word, no trace, and are believed to be dead. The boys went missing from the California City home of their adoptive parents on December 21st, 2020. The adoptive parents, Trezell and Jacqueline West, are now charged with murder in their deaths. I mean, this case has captured and captivated so many in Kern County, y'all, and across the nation. Okay, so March 8th, 2022, a gag order, okay, was issued, okay, in the case of a couple accused of killing two of their adopted children, okay. The order had barred attorneys and their investigators and law enforcement involved in the case of Trezell and Jacqueline West from speaking publicly about it. It also applied to the witnesses and court personnel with access to the reports filed in the case. All right? So we're still in the year of 2022. March 7th, 2022, Trezell and Jacqueline West defense attorneys held a press conference where they accused the DA, Cynthia Zimmer, of spreading false information. March 3rd, 2022, Trezell and Jacqueline West were due in court for their official arraignment, and they pled not guilty. Wow, that's crazy, right? When they were last placed with you guys, but you're not guilty, of course. I would expect them to have some type of remorse and to plea, but I guess they're not going to do that. Also, on March 3rd, 2022, another biological mother, Miss Williams, came forward and said her boys were placed with the West, and she said she hasn't heard from them since. And I quote, "I'm asking for proof of life," Williams said. So on March 3rd, 2022, you got this mother that comes forward and said last that she's known her boys were with the West, and she has no idea what has happened to them, what has heard from them. She's never heard anything else. She don't even know if they are alive. March 2nd, 2022, the DA, Cynthia Zimmer, held a press conference discussing the indictments and updates on the case. Although there were no bodies found, she said there was enough direct and circumstantial evidence to convince a grand jury that the boys were murdered. She also said the investigation revealed that the boys had been murdered 3 months prior to being reported missing. March 1st, 2022, Trezell and Jacqueline West were indicted and charged with second-degree murder. They were arrested at 7 p.m. in western Kern County. Now, we're going back to 2021. December 21st of 2021, it was 1 year since Orrin and Orrin West were reported missing from the home of their adopted parents in California City. And that's exactly 1 year that their biological family filed a lawsuit against Kern County. December 15th, 2021. Almost about 1 year after Orrin and Orson West went missing, the community held a toy drive in their honor. October the 21st, 2021. 10 months later, the boys still remain missing. Orrin and Orrin West's biological father spoke with 17 News about his experience dealing with the boy's disappearance, and then the community held another prayer vigil. September the 21st, 2021, the boys have been missing for 9 months, and then the community had been holding monthly prayer vigils and events for them. July 7th, 2021, 200 days after Orrin and Orson West were reported missing, the Bakersfield Police Department gives 17 News an update on the case. So shout out to the people that boots on the ground and that kept the boy's name alive, people that put up the banners, held prayer vigils, parties, birthday parties for the boys, because y'all kept them in the spotlight, y'all kept them in the news, and y'all kept them talking about the boys, as it should be. June 1st, 2021, Bakersfield PD releases new information on the case. 44 search warrants was served. 83 people interviewed and 170 items were seized in the investigation into the disappearance. Okay? June 1st. That was June 1st, 2021. April 21st, 2021. The boys would have been missing for about 4 months. And there went it was silent for a little while. But activists were still on the ground being involved with the searches and themselves. And at this point, no one's knowing or believing that the boys are dead. Some people believe that, but some people had a lot of hope that the boys might still be alive. March 31st, 2021, Bakersfield Police Department, Sergeant Robert Pear discussed the disappearance of the 4-year-old Orrin and 3-year-old Orson West in California City, where they were reported missing 100 days. March 29, 2021, the mayor of Bakersfield released a video message discussing the investigation to find the boys, Orrin and Orson West. March 28, 2021, Wanda West, adoptive grandma of Orrin and Orson, released a statement asking the community to continue searching for her grandsons. She also wrote about losing Orrin and Orson, but also her other 4 grandsons when Child Protective Service took them in private and protective custody. She also pled with the community to continue to search for Orrin and Orson. She wrote, and I quote, "Someone knows exactly where Orrin and Orson are and what happened in December. Come forward. God and our family has already forgiven you, and you will be free from the guilt and burden I know you are carrying. These are babies who are loved and have an entire future waiting for them to explore. Release them and yourself from this. All we want are the boys back." And I quote. I wonder how she feel about that statement now, being that it was her son that she was talking to and her daughter-in-law that she was speaking to. How ironic is that, huh? March 19, 2021, the reward for information relating to missing California City boys was at 125,000, and that was a continuous increase. And I am very, very, very surprised, for two beautiful boys, African American boys. That's a lot. March 15, 2021, the Bakersville Police Department confirmed that it served a search warrant March 12th at the home of Orrin and Orson West's adoptive grandmother as part of its investigation into their disappearance. The department didn't provide any additional information about the warrant, but they said that limited information is being provided to protect the integrity of the investigation and ultimately safeguard any facts from being tainted. The public is strongly discouraged from making assumptions of guilt and dissemination of rumor and speculation. And at this point, but they knew the whole time that the boys were deceased. We were not informed at that time. So people was making a bunch of assumptions, pointing fingers, things of that nature. We had our suspicions. And like I said, when we watched Giselle and Jacqueline's interview, we already had suspicions that they knew something. And they knew where the boys were. And they knew what happened. Let's see, you guys. March 8th, 2021. The speculation, because everybody knows it was a bunch of drama on YouTube. There was speculation about what happened to the boys, and it resulted into like a lot of online arguments, finger pointing, and the arrest of a man on a misdemeanor warrant after he had a confrontation with a neighbor. Y'all pretty much know what it was. You can go back if you would like to know who, but I'm not gonna say any names over here because it's basically really irrelevant because we're talking about the timeline in these over a year with the boys. March 6, 2021, the Bakersville police and personnel from other agencies searched the field in the area of Cottonwood and East Pacheco in connection with the investigation. In their search, the boys weren't found. Nothing came up of it. The police said they could not say what led them to the field, but they need to preserve the integrity of the investigation. March 1st, 2021, Bakersville Police Department became the lead agency investigation in the boy's disappearance. Now, don't forget, y'all, I'm going backwards. All right. February 21st, 2021. That's when the case started getting a lot of traction, online groups. A lot of people were sharing information, and the California City Boys was getting a lot of attention. Okay, February 21st, it really spiked. February 19, 2021, the protesters had gathered outside the Department of Human Services building in a rally to continue to raise awareness of the case. February 2nd, 2021, there was a candlelight vigil prayer held outside of the home in Bakersville where the boys lived before they were adopted. February 1st, 2021, California City Police and federal agents revisited the home of the Orson boys' adopted parents that Monday with special equipment that sent signals into the ground to see if there was anything underneath the ground. Nothing was found during that visit, according to the police. January the 25th, 2021, there was a candlelight vigil, and the police were asking for residents to report anyone seeing trespassing at the home of the missing boys. And then there was candlelight vigils, and they was praying for that safe return. Meanwhile, the DA and the police knew that Orson West was deceased. January 17th, 2021, the reward money was at $100,000. Okay. And they got a lot of support very early on in this investigation. January 2nd, 2021, the extended family of the missing boys issued a statement expressing their hopes for the safe return of Orrin and Orson, that they were cooperating with authorities and have involved a team of private investigators. The statement basically said that the family members had been advised to avoid the public because of the intensity and amount of threats they had received, and the West home in the California city was targeted by rocks and attempted break-ins, according to the statement. Okay, that was January 2nd, 2021. 2020, December the 29th. Chief John officially tells the media that foul play is suspected and nothing was found when investigators dug up the West family backyard. December 23rd, 2020. That was a Wednesday. The boys' adoptive parents, Trezell and Jacqueline West, discussed the case with the media. Their one and only interview. And they also did it in their backyard. There was a lot of people in the front and backyards on that day because they were just recently reported missing. December 22nd, 2020. That Wednesday afternoon. All right. They spoke with the media and they lied. They said that the police told them to stay in their home during the search. Trezell West explained how the boys went missing, and they said they fostered the boys in 2018, then adopted them in 2019. They said they have 2 other adopted children and 2 biological children, all of whom have been removed from the home since the investigation began. And they reported and in their media interview that their cell phones and other technological devices were seized by the police. And then that Wednesday afternoon, the police searched the home again. Okay. And so when the search investigators, they went through the home, they left with evidence collected in a lot of brown bags and a duffel bag. The adoptive parents' van was towed to be searched, and the police was involved early on. And the police said at that time that the parents were cooperating. So that Monday, Orson and Orrin West, they played outside. This is the story that they gave us. Trezell was gathering firewood. He tells the media that he went back inside the house. When he came back out, the boys were gone. He said he drove through nearby streets and spoke with neighbors, but couldn't find them. And we all know before we found out this new information, that the story just did not make sense. We knew two beautiful boys, if they wandered off in the desert, would have been found by some point early on. They wouldn't have made it that far, two toddlers, in that short amount of time. So we knew the story did not add up. It did not make sense. And when something doesn't make sense, it doesn't add up, guess what? It's a lie. So what I wanted to do was I wanted to go back from today, backtrack to when the boys were reported missing. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. But I kind of lumped something together as a timeline to give you how long we've been tracking the case, how long we've been on the case. And we've been on the case since the very beginning, since the boys were reported missing. All right. So we're still going to stay tuned in for the trial and what goes on through the trial. So make sure you guys, if y'all are interested in the case, stay tuned. Make sure you like, share, and subscribe. And thank you guys for watching. It's your girl Queen, and I'm out. Peace.